Hello.
Hey,
Hey, so it's a quiet live stream today.
yeah, that's okay.
And sorry that we're running a little behind, but we're here now.
Yep. So fill me in. I haven't seen you for a while. How you been? What's new in life?
Ah, more caffeinated than ever, and that's mainly just been working a bunch. Recently worked on a trailer for Michael's, a project that Michael's helping write. Like he's been helping write it and acting in it, called Casual Dating.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I will once this goes up in archive, I'll post the link in the description to the trailer.
Sounds good.
But yeah, working on other Scar stuff, including a podcast between Alex and Kyle.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. Again, just trying to keep busy. How about yourself?
That's good. Well, I'm getting a lot of feedback, so I can hear myself talk like a couple seconds later.
Okay, hang on.
Um,
Can you
I'm going
still?
back to school in September. That's the latest news with me. I'm going to be a teacher, something I thought about for a long time, but I'm finally settled in life and choosing that path. Of course, we'd all just love to be full-time actors, wouldn't we? And show business people, right? But um, no, I think I've developed a little more in the last couple years in terms of what I think seems like a stable path for me. So that's the latest. That's the latest with me. I just finished. I'm moving back in with my mother, so that's not exactly a point of pride. However, my entertainment system is a point of pride, and I just finished with some sound panels.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, that's been my big project, and I'm still it's still ongoing, still working on it. In fact, I'll show you where I'm at right now. If you can see the video, right?
I can still see the video. Can you hear
Okay,
me
check
okay
it
still?
out. Can you see it?
I can.
So sound panels all behind the TV because we got, oh yeah, you can see that, just testing the audio. We got a Sirius sound bar and sub here. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in preparation for my life as a student. I'm having to do entertainment in a compact space, and I'm happy about it. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that at
but
all.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, but tell me more about your personal life. You told me about scars, and you told me about being caffeinated. How about work life?
Sorry, just is the feedback problem fixed?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
It
good.
sounds good now.
Okay.
Thanks.
And I think I fixed the static problem that I was just having now too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that that's out of the way. As far as work stuff, we're launching some new channels at work. So it's been really, really, really hectic and stressful.
Yeah.
We got like four new
Wow.
channels. So we've just been trying to get our shit together on that one.
Well, I was very impressed when I saw the offices there. I mean, it was really. I mean, it's quite a. No pun intended, but it's quite a production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you were there last year to shoot the fundraising video.
Yeah.
Or did you
Yeah.
see it or did you see it after that too?
No, no, it was then. It was
Okay.
then. Even from the outside, it's quite a big building, but I mean, there's a lot happening there. So
There
yeah.
is.
How
Most
many
of it.
channels did they have before the addition of these four channels?
Nine. Nine
Wow.
plus two internationals. And now
Wow.
we have four new ones, so that's 14 in total.
Wow.
So
Wow. Yeah.
all around
So
the
same
world, super
facilities.
busy. What's that?
Same facilities. Those same facilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And I remember you saying that it was a lot of your responsibility was to actually watch the channels that were played to ensure that they're all being done properly, which I thought was just fascinating because I always wondered about, how it all works.
Um, yeah, I mean, it sounds better than it is, I guess. I mean, the job is, if things are going really, really well and everything's going like clockwork, the job is basically to sit and monitor all the channels. So kind of like watch TV. But it's really, it's not, it's, it's hard to describe. Like, it's not being paid to watch TV, but it kind of is at the same time. It's just like really, really limited TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's when there's issues, things get really hectic, and like now.
So since we are on live stream, and since someone may be entertained by our conversation, why don't you tell us the story of the most egregious error that you've caught while keeping an eye on things?
Okay, this is tricky because I also because it is live and then it's archived. I also just need to be careful what I say at the same time. So that's why
Okay.
I'm taking a few moments because okay, I need to word this in a way that if someone from work happened to see it, which they won't. Okay, how do I just making sure that this is okay to say? Most outrageous error. That is a really, really hard one of live stuff, not what we're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had the wrong commercials play.
that's pretty
And
bad. That's pretty bad. So who gets to choose that?
well, that's our traffic department. And yeah, it's I mean, so okay, so companies go and they have their commercials and then they purchase airtime. And then in contracts it says how much needs to actually, how many times it's got to play, its rotation, when it can play, that sort of thing. So there are certain things that are promised, and it's part of their contract. You don't want to give out bonus spots because that takes away from actual paying clients for it. So I mean, you don't want to give away airtime, and that happens when there are screw ups. Now, when you have the
I,
wrong
yeah.
commercial running for 7 straight months, that's a bit of a problem.
Wow. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
So somebody would have been pretty upset, and then somebody would have been pretty happy getting alternatively more airtime than they paid for.
Well, I mean, two things on that one. Um, if no one notices it, if no one notices it, then it's not really a problem, is it? It's one of those, if the tree falls in the forest and no one's there to see it, is anyone going to miss
Yeah.
that tree?
Yeah.
Probably not. But
It's funny that you mentioned that because I've seen it where commercials look like they've really messed up.
how so?
Like I've seen where they clip a commercial short, or they somehow um, it's like the reel is clipped improperly or something, and then the commercial runs again or repetitively, and it's like a jumble or something like that. Like one didn't finish, another one goes in, and then there's a repeat commercial. Maybe repeats are intentional though. Is that ever the case? Where two
Sometimes,
commercials play back to back?
sometimes, but what you're kind of thinking of there is when you have two 15-second spots and they're put together in 130. So it's happened before.
Yes.
I've seen that happen. We're like, we'll go and we'll get a commercial, and then I'll go and I'll QC it and marker its time and everything, so it's in and out spots for it to run. But it cuts off at 15 seconds, and then another one plays directly after, and that's how they're supposed to play. So it is intentional.
Ah.
I don't
And so
necessarily.
someone like me would see it as kind of abrupt.
I've always seen it as abrupt myself until I started seeing that commercials were actually brought in that way. So, yeah.
Wow. So I guess it's kind of the job the people who put together that commercial to have a sort of a soft start or a soft ending, so that kind of thing doesn't seem so apparent. But yeah, it does seem apparent though sometimes, where it seems like it sort of jumps out from the next one, and I always wonder if that's a mistake or that's the way they're clipped. So that's interesting.
Usually just the way they're
Wow.
clipped.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So how?
So Scars update.
Oh yeah, so we have a fundraiser going on right now. We're in the process of getting ready to shoot episode 9. We're going to try,
Yeah.
but again, it's on the pricey side. So right now we have a fundraiser going with Indiegogo. We're trying to raise 10 grand in order to shoot it. If we can get anywhere near that, even 7, we could roughly be okay. But yeah, I mean, it would be great to shoot one of our most emotionally charged episodes before the end of the year. So if the fundraiser goes well, we'd be shooting that in November. But
That's awesome.
I mean, that's the hope. But we'll see what happens. Um, and what else? We have that podcast, which I'll let you hear the first episode in a little while, and let everyone
Cool.
else hear that as well. It'll be up on iTunes sometime next week. So yeah, there
Awesome.
is that.
Very cool. Good,
Oh,
because now that I'm disconnected from the world without Facebook, I really don't know what's going on ever.
oh, you're not. Did you get rid of your Facebook, or did you?
Yeah, I deleted my Facebook account when that whole scandal came out. I wouldn't exactly call it a scandal, but I mean it was. And I didn't really delete it for that reason though. I sort of felt I still feel like there's almost like two halves of Facebook. Maybe even like you can divide up the uses of Facebook into more than that, maybe like 3 or 4. But the way I always saw Facebook was there's event planning and chat, and then there's posting, and I don't know. You can think of it as anything related to posting, which include I'd almost include the games as well, which come up in posts all the time. So there's kind of like the social media aspect, and then the social aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
And
The
I
social
never,
aspect of social media.
yeah, I mean, I never used the social media aspect. So I never posted, I never really followed strings of, it just wasn't, it's just not really me. But but the social aspect I liked, but it didn't really seem worth it because even that I was only using for very, very particular types of things, and I kind of feel like the important people can get a hold of you by phone. So
Or email or
yeah,
text, that kind of thing.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And if you have none of the above, then should you really even be a Facebook friend?
Eh.
Right? I mean, that's where the whole social media part comes in. That is unrelated to what where I would see value in it. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
anyway, not that I ever really posted pictures. So I mean, I guess that's sort of a. I guess the whole part was I was very disengaged anyway. So I didn't really do it because of that. But that was just sort of like a reminder. Oh, hey, there's that thing I really don't ever use and don't really feel like I need. So yeah, and I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I certainly don't miss the notifications on my phone asking me if I'm friends with so and so who I've never met.
Yeah, it's. I'm envious of you to be able to just delete your Facebook like that. I've been. I mean, if it wasn't
Yeah,
for like being in this sort of business, like, in this industry, I'd
yeah.
get rid of it. But unfortunately, like it's kind of how you get work, and so
Uh,
yeah, it's like, well, I use it for that, and that's about it. Once in a while, like I'll share like a meme or something like that, or if a friend has a post that's worth sharing, or anything to do
yeah,
with any project I'm
yeah.
working on, that.
I used to like occasional posts by people. It wasn't like I was against the posting. I just never did any posting myself. And and I guess at the end of the day, I felt there's only so much time a person has, and I couldn't see myself really justifying any time putting into Facebook. Going into Facebook. If that makes sense, I don't know. A
That's what
person
the
has to choose how to spend the time in their day. So you have to decide what's valuable and what isn't valuable, or what's a waste of time and what's worth your time. And Facebook, at the end of the day, for me, I think was like just not didn't really make sense. Didn't really add up.
I mean, that's what the bathroom is for, right? Facebook. That's that's how I decide to spend my that's my Facebook time. Otherwise, I try to avoid it unless like I'm posting something like "Come join the live stream," in which case I'm
That's
doing
so
that for
funny. That's so funny. For me that's Amazon, browsing Amazon. Like, yeah, I'm just like browsing Amazon for things I don't need, and then sometimes I feel like I need them.
Oh, so I recently made a discovery that probably everyone else knew but me. I thought
Tell
that
me.
Amazon Prime was $80 a year, a month. I've learned that it's 80 a year. So guess who has Amazon
That
Prime now?
you do.
I do, yeah. I ordered something a few days ago, and I ordered something yesterday or the day before. I think the day before, and it arrived today, so I was pretty happy about that.
Well done. Free 2-day shipping on all Prime orders.
Yep, yep, that
Yeah,
makes it well
welcome
worth
to
it.
the club.
And then I discovered that, like, oh, Amazon Prime, like, right, there's the video service and there's a music service.
Incredible,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
it's like all of this for, yeah. It
Yeah,
feels worth it to
the
me.
video is really impressive. Yeah.
I haven't really played with it too much. I've been busy doing other things, trying to stay
Hmm.
productive and not diving down the rabbit hole. But there is a series, Sneaky Pete, with Bryan Cranston that I want to check out. I watched the first episode a while ago, and it was really, really good. Just I didn't have Amazon, so I didn't watch the rest. But
Yep, I made
now,
it to
now I can,
episode 2, but I haven't continued.
because no time or just not interested.
Yeah. No, another time issue where there's only so much time. Yeah, but it was good though. I liked it. Yeah.
Oh,
So how long ago did you sign up,
2 days ago.
and how much was it
Well,
exactly?
I got the first month free. So
Okay,
I got 30 free
because I did.
days.
Yeah. No, I did hear that it was going up in price.
When I checked, it said $80.
That's a score. That's really good.
But whether or not that'll be what's charged my credit card next month, I don't know. We'll see.
It could have been related to Prime Day as well. Prime Day was happening, so I think they were promoting their Prime subscriptions on Prime Day.
I'm hoping that, like, since I got the free trial, that, like, whatever that price was, that's what I'm in on. That's what I get to pay, as opposed to it being more. I mean, I'd still pay it anyway, and I think Amazon knows that people will pay it anyway, especially because, like, it's a once
Yeah,
a year thing. Like, I pay more
yeah,
for my music library every year that I barely use. So, it's,
yeah.
of course,
Have you
like,
tried the music?
no, not yet. I still use
Me neither.
Spotify. But I mean, if it's
Yeah,
good enough to replace Spotify, then that's one less thing I'm paying for. Unfortunately, like, there's no cloud storage or anything like that as far as I know, so it can't replace Dropbox.
yeah, but it's only a matter of time. Amazon's going to take over the world.
See, I hope that they have cloud storage and they build it in with Amazon Prime, because, like, to get that and just make one payment a year and cover all my services. Yep,
Yes.
I'm behind that. I
Yeah.
will pay whatever they ask up to a certain limit. I think my limit would be something like 200 a year, and that's going to be like a lot of that's going to be like a fair amount of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And there's also the Twitch thing. So I got to link my Twitch account over to my Amazon account now to get like the ad-free stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I discovered that. I discovered all this stuff after I got it. I'm just like, I'm going to get the 30 free days just for the free 2-day shipping. And then it's like all these extra things. It's kind of like when I took a flight with WestJet years and years ago. There's so many company names we're promoting right now. Just name dropping.
Yeah.
Um, and I got, this was back in 2016, and I got the Plus upgrade just for the extra leg room. and
Yeah.
and then I discovered that there's like, oh, you get a free meal with your like you get these extras with it. So I mean that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. Like it came like, what do you want for your meal? Like, do I have to pay for it? No, no, it's part of your ticket. Guess who didn't read the benefits with their ticket? Guess who stopped at extra leg room and then just went, okay.
Yeah.
Or
I think
like,
Prime is one of the most valuable subscriptions I've ever done. And it's not just because, one thing alone. There's a lot that's in the video service. It's not quite up to Netflix, but it's it's a viable alternative if you want to spend less and kill two birds with one stone with the fact that you're a Prime member and you get a lot easier shipping. Sometimes you get Prime exclusive offers that are pretty good. There's a lot of benefits, and for $100 a year, I mean, it's really not a lot for that amount of service you're getting from Amazon. Yeah,
for sure. And like, you see all those jokes about like everyone, people ordering everything from Amazon, but like when you only have to wait 2 days, or there was a while ago I got some audio equipment, and I paid, it was like 60 or 70 and next day shipping to get it like the next day, and
yeah,
it was like that was great. And now to be like, well, if I want next day shipping, it's only $4 now. Gee,
yeah.
I think I can order almost everything off Amazon. If they let me do groceries, I might consider getting groceries off there too.
So they bought Whole Foods in the last year. I don't know if you had heard about that.
I did.
Yeah, so they're experimenting with that. I don't know if that's really going to become mainstream, but obviously the future down the line, I would think it will be.
I think in the winter that's super valuable. Like I don't mind doing it now. It's an effort to get in my house to go do it, and I got to do that
Hmm.
this weekend, so probably tomorrow.
Hmm.
But I mean, like I don't mind it so much in the summer on a cooler day, but I think like on the
Yeah,
blistering hot days and on the really really cold ones, I think it'll be beneficial then, especially for seniors, right? Like I know that we're talking about people who maybe
that's a good
not don't
point.
don't necessarily have the best grasp on computers, but Amazon's
Yeah,
pretty easy to use. I would imagine they would
yeah,
have like a site or an app that's kind of designed for simple use of that. But
yeah.
to have groceries delivered through Amazon and just make it really really easy, I think that's beneficial for a lot of people who have those kind of disabilities. Or
That's a really good point.
so I think
Yeah,
there's a
that's a
lot
really
of,
good point.
so, I mean, you kind of make, you think of that and it's like, well, people who are lazy and that sort of thing, you know, yeah, okay. But again, I think it's more beneficial for people who have disabilities and issues with mobility.
Absolutely. I just ordered a chair that's coming on Tuesday. It's like a recliner, but it's not a full size recliner. It's like a desk chair recliner. That makes sense.
Oh,
It looks like a desk chair, but it's really like a recliner. And not only did they beat everyone else around, including my usual go-to to compare in prices, which is Walmart, that also has a pretty good app and pretty good online shopping. But Amazon beats them, I'd say more than half the time, or matches them, nearly all the time. Um, anyway, does it make sense for me? Oh, by the way, I got rid of my car, so I'm no longer driving. I went through, quick story on that. Went through Lease Busters, ended up giving $1,000 cash incentive to have somebody take over the lease. Then you got to pay for the actual transfer of the lease. That's about $600, so it costs you quite a bit out of pocket, but you can get out of lease if you're on Lease Busters. It's possible. So anyway, I did that. Short story. So I don't have a car anymore. So it is impossible for me to pick up an item like this chair. So the convenience of doing something like this is remarkable. And by Tuesday, I'm going to have it delivered here. Right?
very nice. Yeah, I mean that's why I don't have like I want a night. I'd like to get a nightstand and a dresser for my room. Um, but
Yeah.
again, like I don't have a vehicle, so unless I want to pay $100 shipping for IKEA, which I really
You
don't
don't.
want to do, Like that's why it's just like if I'm gonna do that, I gotta make a pretty big delivery in order to make it worth $100. But even then,
Yeah,
it's just no. So I mean,
yeah,
having that option with delivery, it's like all right, I can go and I can get things now. And now that I've finally
yeah.
sort of dug myself out of my financial hole that I was in, um, it's more possible now, which is nice. So it's just like this discovery came at a good time. But I
Yeah,
think
that's awesome.
I still don't think I could justify paying $80 a month for it. No, even
No,
knowing what I
no,
know about it,
that's steep.
yeah,
No,
that's really expensive.
but they're talking about increasing it. If they haven't already increased it, I don't. It sounds like you got a really good deal because it's been that price for a while. But I know they talked about increasing it. I think they may have in the States already. Um, but I think they talked about bringing it up to 130 or 120, something like
Ooh,
that.
yeah, they haven't done that yet on the site. It still says, yeah, it's
Yeah,
less
if you
than.
if you got that deal, then obviously they haven't done it, but they talked about doing that, and I still think it's well worth it under $200 a year because I mean the way I see it is a Netflix subscription will cost you roughly 180, and that's just video. That's just video streaming. Netflix gives you, or I mean Amazon gives you so much, and you'll have to let me know how that music goes because I haven't tried that.
I don't know when I'm gonna
But
try it.
yeah.
I'm still pretty stuck in my way with Spotify. So,
Hmm.
but
Is it like Spotify?
I don't know. I just know that it exists and that the site prompted me to go use it, and it's like I had to go to work, so it's just like nah,
Yeah.
no. So I might go play with it later today.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazon has a big portion of the online retail market, but they have only 1% of the overall retail market. It's one of the biggest stories in financial markets is Amazon because it's trading at a very high multiple, which simply means people anticipate a lot of growth, and it's if you want to call it costly versus how much they make, the price of the stock it has a huge multiple, right? Because a growthy stock like Amazon trades for a higher price, typically speaking, and but if Amazon were to capture just 2 or 3 or 4% of all retail, that would be 4 times the size they're at. I mean, it would be huge, and I already think they really should be well on their way. Oh, and by the way, a quick story on that free 2-day shipping. I ordered a Prime product, more sound pads, because I'm going to take care of the door. I just did the wall behind the sound system and the TV, just that little block as you saw. But I'm going to be getting the door, so I ordered more sound panels, and they had free 1-day same day shipping. Sorry, free same day shipping. It was this morning. I'm looking at it at 9 o'clock. So by 9 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be getting the sound panels that I ordered this morning.
That holy crap, that's impressive.
Yeah. And so they do that sometimes on products. They offer same day on certain products if the warehouse is here. If it's and they do have warehouses everywhere. They can do that for Prime members only, of course, exclusive to Prime members.
Which is nice to get those benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, how much are your sound pads?
So I got one that was, and I feel bad because this blue and black setup that I ordered, it's no longer on Prime. So I hope they bring them back because Amazon does this sometimes. They sell out of something and then they don't have it for a while, right? So then other things come on Prime. Like Amazon's very, I don't know what the word is, but their stock and their inventory, they change. They update for the latest trends, the latest products, whatever it is. They change it sometimes, right? So it was 55 to get the pack that I got. And let me see, can I reverse the camera just to show you, to give you a better sense of what that looks like? Can you see that?
I can.
You see the TV?
I do.
Okay, so get a better angle here. So there it is.
And
And I've
that
still got quite a few to spare. And this takes up, these are about 10, I want to say 10 by 10 inches,
okay.
25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. And this whole thing costs $55.
Because I'm in the process of building
And that's
a sound booth in my apartment. So looking for padding, that's the one
it.
thing I've been looking at, is trying to get some sound padding.
Yeah, you should check it out. They actually had an even better deal, not on these ones. So these ones weren't in stock. So what I did was I decided to order these different panels because I'm going to take care of the door, so they didn't have to be matching panels anyway. And those ones were even cheaper at $45. So you should check them out. And they're not the egg shaped ones. These are the egg carton shape. They're the I don't know what you call them. They're like zigzag shaped, but they're bigger. They're 12 inches by 12 inches, which is substantially more area. And they're the same thing, 24 panels. It comes in 24 panels. And yeah, so those might not be as good as the egg shape. I don't know. It'll be hard to say until I sort of see them and get them. But yeah, so you're looking at to do a small job like that. And I've still got like a few of these left over, actually. So I didn't even use them all. But yeah, a job like that. So how big do you need? How much space do you need to cover?
It depends on the area that I end up setting up. I'm thinking about turning one of my closets into that, just to run it. But I also have an area behind my desk, which I'm thinking of setting up. But I think one pack, it depends. Like the smaller setup that I'm thinking of for now, I think one pack will way more than cover it. As is, I'd probably have to cut one of them just to sort of create like a box kind of thing. It's basically a
Yeah.
microphone in a box kind of deal.
Oh, they actually sell pre-made systems like that. You might be better off getting one of those.
Oh,
They have like, is it just for a microphone?
yep.
Oh, they
Mike,
actually, so you should search it up. They have dedicated pre-made systems that surround a microphone, that are meant to surround a microphone. I don't know how big they are though. You'd have to look it up.
huh.
But they have one specifically for people trying to use it for microphones.
Okay, I'll have to check
So
that out.
and let me tell you what else. This was the hardest part about soundproofing panels, figuring out how to put them on. I ended up using these sewing pins, which were very effective. But I tried double-sided tape, which was a disaster, and gluing the walls didn't really seem like the best option. So this is what I ended up doing.
So just
If
like
you decide to do it,
piercing it through the wall.
yeah, piercing into the wall. But these are small, right? Sewing needles are really little.
Yeah. It depends
So
on like how
that,
thick your wall is too.
yeah, and how thick the foam is also. So if I show you just this little tiny piece, you can see obviously some of it is really close to the wall, then it
Yeah.
goes up by quite a bit.
You would pierce the parts that are closer to the wall.
Yeah, yeah, you got to get right in between in one of the valleys versus the mountains, and you just poke in the pin, and it looks pretty good, and it's really stable. But the double-sided tape was a disaster. The foam wouldn't hold on the tape. I probably could have gotten more heavy-duty tape, but you know what? The pins worked so well, and I also didn't want anything as far as glue goes. I didn't want anything I couldn't change after if I wanted to change the shape or I didn't like the way they were hung. So the pins were nice because, I could just take them out and redo it if I want, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah. So anyway, yeah, it'll be a cool little thing. This was really fun. This is my first time doing a soundproofing. I had a lot of fun with it. So I hope yours goes well. Let me know how that goes.
Oh, absolutely. Um, sorry. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that setup evolved. It's been evolving over the last few months. I've been doing voice work for a podcast or a audio drama called Mythos.
Oh yeah.
So that's I've had to sort of I've had to slowly improve my audio setup for recording.
Cool.
Yeah, speaking of recording, we did that. It's an 8 episode podcast with the characters Kyle and Alex,
Yeah.
called On
Nice.
Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. Did you want to hear the first episode?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, that's a trick question because it was going to be played anyway. So, yeah. All right, give me a moment. Okay, you should be able to hear it momentarily. All right, so this is the first episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. It's called Broken Hearts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the debut episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex.
Hello.
I'm your host.
I'm Alex Crawford.
And, welcome, Alex. And we're going to talk to you today about, some of our favorite films.
Not hearing
mutual
anything
loving
yet.
Films. Occasionally, we'll have an episode where Alex
Okay, 1 second.
features a recipe or gives a restaurant review.
Well,
Oh, hang on a second. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to have to go away from this because I got to switch back over to the virtual thing. Just let me know if you hear it when it starts.
Sounds good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the debut episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex.
hello.
I'm your host, Kyle Hayes,
I'm Alex Crawford.
and welcome, Alex. And we're going to talk to you today about, some of our favorite films, our mutual loving films. Occasionally, we'll have an episode where Alex features a recipe or gives a restaurant review.
Well,
I'm your host, Kyle Hayes.
Each episode. I'm
Yeah, sure.
Alex
if we have time,
Crawford.
why not? And
Well, okay, but
welcome, Alex. And we're going to talk to you today about, some of our favorite
guess we'll just give a
films,
little bit of an intro.
our mutual loving films.
ourselves.
Occasionally, we'll have an episode where Alex
I'm Kyle.
features a recipe
Alex and I
or gives
met
a restaurant review a couple years ago back
Well,
in high school.
maybe
I'm your
we can
host,
go a little bit
Kyle
crazy
Hayes.
each episode.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, sure.
Alex
if we have
Crawford.
time, why not? And
Kind of
Okay,
awkward
but
welcome, Alex. And we're going to talk to you today
Basically,
about,
there was this-
some of our favorite
guess we'll just give a
films,
little bit of an intro.
our mutual loving films.
she was in
So
the
occasionally,
science
we'll
class.
have an episode where Alex
Kyle.
features a
Alex
recipe
Alex
or
and I
gives a
met
restaurant
got
review
on
a couple years ago back
Well,
in high school.
I don't know.
I'm your host, Kyle Hayes.
Each episode.
I thought
I'm
Yeah, sure.
Alex
if we have time.
Crawford.
Why
she
not?
was kind of
And,
into me.
okay.
Kind of an
Okay,
awkward-
but
Welcome, Alex. And
I just
we're going to talk to you today
Basically,
about,
there was this,
some of our favorite.
You think there was? I mean, you felt like something was mutual, or this is? I think it was probably just in your head mostly, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that was true now, but certainly at the time.
What? The mutuality?
Yeah. Grade
As a-
10, high school.
Okay.
There was sort of,
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe.
But you were into her as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the sense that I mean, we really had a really, it was a fun table at our science table.
Mhm.
There were a couple other people, but it was really she and I that had fun, doing the different science projects and stuff like that. I didn't give myself any kind of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never really went out with her either. I mean, I probably could have, but then.
Well, I did go out with her a couple of times.
Oh, you did?
I mean, we didn't, just like broadcast it,
Right.
but we went to a movie. I mean, that the first time there was someone else there,
This sounds familiar. I think you've told me this story.
probably.
I don't remember where I was, but.
But then, and then we went out just one time, just to a cafe or whatever. Yeah, I know you didn't necessarily know about those, but
Yeah.
that didn't prevent you from getting jealous.
Well, you and I and a few other people in our friends group, like we used to go to the movies all the time.
Tuesday
Yeah.
nights. Like,
Yeah, Tuesday, the cheap night, the $5 night
Yeah.
at the cinema over there, and I don't know. I think that was the more that I got to spend time around Katie. I think the less I kind of liked her.
Mm.
Like I didn't
didn't feel like she was really all that decent of a person. Like, I felt like she was kind of self-serving. And I think that you kind of fell out of love with her in a similar way. Like,
I guess you could interpret it that way. I mean,
yeah. Well, how would you interpret it?
Well, when I found out that even the slightest possibility of her having a potential relationship with other people, and well, I can't deny it. She left. She wasn't interested anymore at some point, and then I saw that I saw her talking to you one day in the hall.
Yeah. That's what I really think the issue was with her. You know, she would kind of rope you in. She would sort of feign interest in you, but then she would just dispose you like you're like a used tissue or something. Like, I don't know what she wanted. She didn't seem to want a boyfriend or a relationship or anything. She seemed to just, kind of rotate through guys at our school.
Well, yeah, because then there was that time when you and I were sitting there almost ready to fight about it. I mean, not physically or anything, but I don't know, you were getting a little heated.
Yeah.
And then we see her down the hall.
Yeah.
With some other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, whatever. She's probably just talking to them. We might be seeing more into it than there is.
Yeah. I mean, it was high school. It was a different time. We're all so silly and so stupid then, but
then you and I were able to laugh about it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we sort of, formed our resolve over just, kind of making fun of the situation a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Good, we both had our feelings hurt in the same way, and I think that there's something to, there's some friendship to be mined out of that, I suppose.
Well, and it's almost unreal. I mean, it's like getting through it's maybe not to the degree of like a survival situation, but it's a tense, incredible, or not incredible, but trying situation emotionally for young people at that time. And we got through it together on some level. And
yeah.
they say that relationships like that don't last.
No.
Because that was the same time that we started talking about the movie Speed.
Yeah.
We both really liked it, but it's true that Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, she says to him at the end of the movie, relationships formed in stress situations or whatever never last.
Yeah. Oh man, Speed is great. Speed is a great movie. I've actually never seen the sequel though, I don't think.
I don't know that it's worth it.
Yeah. That might have been a direct-to-video even. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I mean, Keanu Reeves isn't in it.
Yeah, he's not in it.
But it's like the same character by Jason Patric or whatever.
Yeah. What's the point, really?
No, it's like on a cruise ship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How fast can a cruise ship go?
Yeah. So that relationship or whatever you want to call it with Katie, it was nothing too real, but it I had a similar kind of familiar sort of, I don't know, well, sadness isn't the word for it, but confusion, I suppose, when my ex Roxanne, walked out on me.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't literally walk out on me, but it was a similar kind of, odd feeling of being shunted aside.
Yeah, how long had you guys been together?
Reason. Like, we went out for 6 or 7 months, and I feel like, that's not forever, but that is long enough that you should probably be on the same page of where things are headed, right?
Yeah, I mean, a relationship can break up at any time, I guess. I mean, I don't know. To some degree, having been together for X amount of time, the longer the time together, maybe the less likely that it comes apart. But I mean, of course, we know that's not true.
Mm-hmm. It's not always true, but I just don't understand why, she wasn't willing to communicate with me her true feelings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what? Did she reveal that she'd been hiding things?
Oh.
Or, I mean, not communicating everything?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think Roxanne's ever going to listen to this, so, she wasn't faithful to me. She wasn't a good partner to me.
And she revealed that?
Yeah.
Or it got revealed?
Yeah. And I don't understand why it was just such an easy thing for her to do. I was always good to her, and I never got that in return.
Mhm.
So I don't really understand what the problem was, what her problem was with me, why the problems weren't a little more resolvable.
Like, how did it happen, that specific moment? Like, you were was it at home? Were you guys living together? No, not yet.
We weren't living together. We're spending a lot of time together. And, one day, I just kind of confront her, She'd been a little too friendly with some of my friends, and she's like a little too familiar with some guys that I know, and she's like a little too, I don't know, happy to be spending time with people who aren't me. So I was always insecure about that, and I finally just asked her one day, like, where's this going, or what do you see happening between us? And it was clear she just didn't feel the same way. She'd barely given it a second thought.
Where were you guys when you asked her? Like, out? Or?
No, we were at my place.
Hmm.
Yeah. And, like, we'd been going out 6 or 7 months. She didn't even think of us as an exclusive couple.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just such an easy thing for her to say that she's going out with other guys and attracted to other guys. And I don't know, maybe I had tunnel vision, but, like, I had been so focused on her for the past few months that I didn't even give it a second thought. It was just really kind of disarming to think that you don't really know someone as well as you think.
Especially when you've been, like, intimate and close with them for that long.
Yeah. It's all confusing. It's all kind of pointless, arguably.
Well, but it shows how important it is to talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not easy.
Yeah. That was actually the sort of foundation for this thing that I'm working on.
Yeah.
The script that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
The working title right now is called Broken Hearts. But it's basically the story of two people falling out of love.
What, like, sort of based on what happened with you and Roxanne?
Yeah, loosely based, but I'm going to take elements of that story and incorporate it into this short that I'm writing.
You're not going to, like, thank her in the credits or anything like that?
Oh, God, no. No, I hope she never sees this thing. I hope I never see her again.
Yeah, that seems slightly reasonable, but, like, I don't know, how much have you been working on this?
I mean, the story's broken, and, like, most of the dialogue is kind of taking shape.
The story's broken like a journalist? Like, it's out in the public? Or what do you mean by
No,
broken?
no. Broken, like, as in I've written the beats of the story.
Okay.
I know where the story's going to go.
Broken down.
Broken down, sure. Well, I mean, I usually just say broken, but the story's broken down and, like, sort of outlined. I have the plot, I have the synopsis, and now I'm just fleshing out the story itself, but it's really coming along. I've been working on it practically every day for the past month.
Has it been a way for you to work through what happened with you and Roxanne? I guess?
Yeah. Like, I think it is cathartic in a way.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But then you took some liberties and made some other stuff up to make it a little more interesting, or?
Yeah, well, I had to take some liberties. But I think it is going to be pretty true to the experience. I want it to be a pretty, like, universal sort of story.
Well, because in this story, like, you as the guy, or whatever the guy is, wasn't even anywhere near cheating. You're saying, like in both this Katie and Roxanne, You're saying that the girls were just off. Sounds like you're saying they're promiscuous. Both of them.
That was...
But you are totally innocent.
I'm innocent, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know all of the.
That was my experience, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this short film. It's a short film you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's your experience.
Yeah. It is my experience, but I also want it to be as relatable as possible. I want it to paint a bigger picture, and Yeah.
Because broken hearts, it's not just broken heart. One broken heart.
Well, I toyed with the idea, but essentially it is one person getting their heart broken. But I think broken hearts just sounds like a fuller title. Yeah.
A what title?
Just sort of like a fuller title.
Oh, fuller title.
Yeah.
Like Universal or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. Maybe I did break Katie or Roxanne's heart without knowing it at some point. I'll never be inside their head. I'll never know their perspective. So I kind of just have to make it up.
When you were never interested in anyone else while you were with Roxanne or what have you.
No, I was totally faithful.
Mm. That's cool.
I don't think I deserved what happened to me, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Just we were getting to know each other at that time, right? But
Yeah.
we hadn't really discovered our love of movies.
Yeah. That's just kind of what you do when you're in high school. Like, it's a pretty easy, accessible way to hang out with a group of people. But I feel like the more we talked at school and stuff like that, like I was doing that AV club thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, and I helped you out.
yeah, you helped me out a little bit.
Well, and then there was the cross country
Yeah.
racing,
Mhm.
where you were training away,
Yeah.
trying to get it, and then I come in and you get me to do the races even without training, and then and then I get higher than you or whatever. But I mean, like no, but I mean like 100. I'm 175th place,
Yeah.
and you're like 187th or whatever.
Yeah.
Except the mud run, you beat me on the mud run.
I did beat you on that. Yeah, the mud run was not your forte.
I mean, I was having more fun than anything else, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you do have more of a traditional, I guess, runner's build than I did, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if that counts as silent bragging.
A silent bragging?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's what you used to accuse me of.
Silent. Oh yeah, silent bragging. I use the term. I remember using the term humble brag a lot when I first came out. But silent bragging, that's a good one. We should bring that back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that people do sometimes, right? Where they just like let it float in the air around.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll stop. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay. So, but for example, what other elements of your life are going to be in this short film?
Well, it's gonna be a fairly self-contained story, I think. I kind of picture it, almost taking place in sort of like one location, and it's mostly dialogue driven. I like to get, maybe a few exterior shots in there somehow. I want to toy with nature and landscape a little bit.
Like
But-
in an abstract, artistic way, or?
Yeah. Because sometimes you can say a lot without actually saying anything at all. So I think that it's going to be a general. There's going to be a story there. There's a plot, but I think that the film is kind of going to have a vibe as well. Like, it's going to have this. You're going to go on a journey with these two characters, and it's going to deal with themes of, intimacy and infidelity and stuff like that. That's kind of how I pictured it.
I mean, a couple other friends of theirs as well, or mainly just the two of them?
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of peripheral characters that give the characters advice and that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'll be needing hands on set, so.
Well, how far along are you in the planning of that?
Well, I haven't, hired anyone yet or anything. I figured I would just, I don't know. I get a few people to pitch in.
Like you got the food
yourself.
organized?
No, I don't know. I'll whip something up on the day, but.
Well, you gotta feed the people.
I know I have to feed people, but.
Like, because you're paying everyone.
Well, I mean, it depends. I'm gonna look at the budget, and I figure I'm gonna call in some favors to do a lot of the more expensive stuff. But yeah, I'll have a plan worked out. I don't know the plan. Like, there's a plan in my head. I just need to put it to paper.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I could talk a little bit now about what I had for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an excellent sandwich. It had eggs and kale. With some really nice seasonings, and then tofu. I mean, no, sorry, not tofu, tuna.
Tuna.
Yeah, tuna.
For
but
breakfast?
Yeah, with nice big chunks, so that it gave a real full texture to the sandwich. And I think that what made it really special was the butter. That's a real. It's a cool trick. And it sort of is a trick, and you could see a trick as being something that's positive, nice and easy going, or you could see it as something that's somewhat dastardly. Like for example, my grandmother, we always thought she had the best peanut butter and honey sandwiches, which is another one that's fun to cook up. And what it was that she was putting butter on it as well. That was her secret to making a truly magnificent peanut butter and honey sandwich. Excuse me. So that's like a legitimate trick, but she was dastardly tricking us because she didn't admit it from the beginning. But whatever. I mean, we were young. So anyways, in this case, yeah, you put some butter on it with tuna. And even those who don't like tuna necessarily, like, this is not like a tuna sandwich. This is tuna from a can. Like, but also, like, doesn't harm the seas type can, and doesn't harm dolphins.
Yeah.
And it's like nice full chunks.
I just can't wrap my head around eating tuna for breakfast. Like, that just sounds a little odd to me. Like,
Even if there's like buttered toast and eggs and kale around it. Honestly, I couldn't even tell when I was eating it what the meat was. It could have been chicken. It could have not even had meat. At first, I didn't think it had meat. And on the end of it, because honestly, I didn't actually cook this one.
okay.
But my current better half did. And yeah, she did an excellent job. So that means that I was guessing my way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty darn sure it was tuna. But I'll tell you this, it ruined nothing. It was excellent. So I highly recommend that. Tuna, eggs. Now, and then when you cook the egg, you want to cook it only so much that the yellow is not, running all over you, but is still somewhat liquidy, soft,
All right.
so that you get a nice fullness and a nice thickness. Tuna, kale, desired spices, and then butter on the toast. And rye bread, multigrain rye.
That sounds good. How long did that take
To eat?
to put together?
Not long at all. Yeah, no, that can be a really, so that you can get ready to go for the day. It's, yeah. If she had I think another half an hour, it would have been 2 or 3 more layers. Would have been like a big one with tomatoes and a few different things like that. But as it was perfect for the route when you're on your way to work or what have you. Like, I was on my way to doing this show.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, well, that's the cooking portion. Thank you.
Thanks for doing that. That actually sounds like not the worst thing to have on set, catering wise, for the shoot. So do
Yeah.
you think she'd be able to make, maybe a half dozen of those?
Well, now, hold your horses. There's lots of things to make. And if we're talking about catering on your set,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people you're going to have there, but when you're thinking about mass production, we'd
Yeah.
maybe mix it up.
Right.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Or, yeah, sandwiches aren't impossible, but...
They eat popcorn on set?
Oh, yeah.
The more I think of that as something you would eat watching a movie rather than making a movie.
Well, to get people in the mood. Like, we're making a movie.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes film sets, and I know this from experience, not tons and tons, but I have been on a film set or two. It doesn't feel like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to, well, I mean, I'm suggesting that you make it feel like a movie, so that
Okay.
people are inspired.
All right. I'll think that over.
And I think popcorn will go a long way.
Okay. I'll pick up some popcorn.
But no, but I mean, it's not to say that we can't do chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuffed chicken
Sounds good.
and rice.
Chicken and rice, yeah.
And vegetables, for sure, vegetables as well.
I mean, do you have any interest in cooking on set?
Well, we'll see what happens, but we'll see how. Let's go one step at a time. I want to see you get real with these goals of yours,
Sure. Yeah.
because we know there's been a few things that haven't necessarily materialized. It's
Right.
okay.
Well, the script should be, I don't know, completed soon, and I'll make sure that you are the very first person to read it.
All right. So you're sort of pulling me in on this project.
Yeah. But you want to be on set, don't you?
No, I can help you. But I do have a few things going on as well, so we'll see about scheduling and stuff.
Mm-hmm. We'll work it out. I'm confident we'll work it out.
I'm glad we're in a good way now.
Yeah. Me too. It's good to. It's funny to think that this all just started over some stupid girl I haven't really thought about in years.
Yeah, we might have passed through entirety of high school without knowing each other, and that from then on,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have known each other. It's good. It's
Yeah, it's weird how life works that way. All right. Well, this has been the first episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. I've been your host, Kyle.
And I've been your host, Alex.
What was that?
What?
Why did you say it like you were...
Well, we're both hosts. We're full on, obviously, hosts.
You said it in this weird, clunky way. I thought you were making fun of the way I talk or something.
Oh, no. I wasn't
Oh.
making fun of you. I almost said co-host, but obviously I'm not the co-host. I'm like a host, too. Anyways.
Well, I think that we're co-hosts. Like co-host is not a pejorative term or anything.
No, but I mean, it's not necessary either. It's just host. Hosting. Co-hosts host together. We're hosts.
I guess so. All right, we have been your hosts then. We'll see you this time next week or whenever you're watching it, listening to it. To talk some more about my film, Broken Hearts, and whatever Alex has on the go.
Yeah, current recipe. We'll come back next time with a really interesting, exciting new way to do steaks.
All right. Have a good one.
Hey, Alex, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Whoops, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Cool. It helps if I unmute the microphone.
Yes, it would.
You got the link, right? And you're able to hear it?
Yeah, I was able to hear it. It was good quality. Yeah.
What did you think? Thoughts?
Good. Yeah. Now I know exactly Sean's little secret breakfast recipe.
Not Sean's secret recipe. It's Alex's recipe.
Right. Oh, right. Alex's recipe. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I liked it. That whole part. I was actually genuinely interested in the content.
Good. It's always good to hear. And
Yeah.
I hope for the people who are watching or listening on the live or archived that you've enjoyed that too, and you'll get the non-staticky version up on iTunes. We'll put it up on the site and a myriad of other places.
Awesome. Yes, listen in. If you're out there and you're interested in the show, do hope you follow and support Rain and the team at Scars.
Yeah. I think I am done for the. I don't think I have much else. I mean, we have again, we have our fundraiser going on right now. There'll be a link in the description. Again, the podcast will be coming out this week. The archive version will be up. I'd like to thank all of our supporters through Patreon and Kickstarter, and anyone who contributes to Indiegogo. Thank you all for your support. On the archive version, there will be a card up at the end. I just don't have it ready for the live version.
Awesome.
Anything else on your end?
Nope, nothing much. Thanks so much for having me on, Rain. It was great hearing from you, and hope things get going. And you do let me know if you need me for I think we were talking about August. Can't remember the weekend now. That weekend of 10th, 11th.
Yes, we're going to see what everyone's availability is. I'll send an email out in the next week or so.
Okay, sounds good. It looks like I'm going to be working that Saturday, but yeah, do let me know anyway, just in case I'm able to make it.
For sure. Alrighty, have a good night, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Bye.
All right, see you, Rain.
See you. Bye-bye.